Yeah.
Says we are live.
All right.
That's what it says. Hello, Gun Nation. Happy 2018. Everybody there, can y'all hear us?
What's up?
Hello, everybody.
Uh-oh. Harry's saying I'm going to sell all my CZs and buy the 19X.
Heck yeah.
Have fun with that.
That's the gun of the year, man. Are you kidding? I've already ordered 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's actually, believe it or not, one of our topics this evening. So we will go ahead and kick it off. Thank you all for joining us on the 2018 first Three Guys Gun Chat. We're excited about it. Whole new year. I guess we've been doing this for, how long have we been doing this? For about a year? Or a little over?
I don't know. About a year, maybe?
Or less. 8 months, something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say 8 or 9 months. So we appreciate y'all. Yeah, we got Channel Cat on too. Mateo, yeah. Everybody's coming on. We appreciate y'all. All right, I guess we might as well go ahead and kick it off. Everybody's asking about it and saying about it. What are y'all's opinion of the G19X? Whoever wants to go first.
So I'll jump in for a moment because you guys know I'm a fan of Glock for sure. I definitely am. So I've ordered 10, like I said, because you can't get enough. Now, honesty, I don't really understand why they were doing it for quite a few reasons. They're doing this, essentially it's a Glock 19 on a 17 frame. So you're getting a little bit more capacity with it, and you're getting a 17 round and 2 19 round magazines. You're getting a slightly different color that they say they've never done before, and perhaps not that exact shade, but they've been doing specialty colors for several years now, and you can buy FDE, and you can buy sand and silver and a bronze color and that sort of thing. Then there's also the Vickers version, which I think is a phenomenal gun. If you're looking for a Glock off the beaten path, I think that's the way to go. So I don't really understand it. And then there are a couple of oddities with it. Your normal Gen 5 magazines that come with your 17 will not actually work with it because the base plate is different. There's now, instead of that little cutout in front of the bottom of the frame, now it's closed off, and it actually has a little shelf that goes down, so it would impede on the new front of the Gen 5 17 magazine. So it doesn't make sense. So I was thinking about this a little while. I'll shut up. So I've got a Glock 19 here, just the standard 19. This is the 19C. It's got a 15 round magazine, nothing special, right? So if I want to make it essentially the new gun but black, all I have to do is this. Now I've put a Glock 17 magazine with a +2 base plate in it, and it essentially does the exact same thing, and I haven't spent any more money. And I just, Glock wants to recoup some money on their R&D for the military trials. I get it, but I don't know. What's the attraction to that? Is anybody really excited for it?
I think, I mean, my opinion is it's just a bunch of leftover parts, and they're like, hey, you know, we had the trials. Let's just stick a bunch of junk together and see what happens. I mean, you know, I'm not excited about it. And I mean, I'm not bashing Glock. You know, they make great pistols and they all work and go bang, but it doesn't do a thing for me. I mean, you know, it looks like they just took something and put an X on it. I mean, I think they need to really revamp something, get people excited again. Just like, wow, that's revolutionary. That's totally different. What do you think, 17?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's a dumb thing for Glock to do. I'll tell you right now, the interesting thing is there's a ton of people out there who already are, you know, pissed off if you talk bad about this gun. Right away, they get very defensive. It's about, you hate Glock, blah, blah, blah. And it really has nothing to do with hating Glock. I think the problem is that Glock, you know, they just put out a Gen 5, the Gen 5 19, Gen 5 17. Then they come out with this 19X. And first off, it doesn't make any sense. I would say about 90% of the people who have guns want something they can conceal. You know, there's not a lot of people who will open carry. There are some people who do, and that's fine if they have the ability to do that. But most people want to, you know, they want to have something small enough that hides well. And
yeah.
So, you know, like I have a Glock 17. I love it. The ergonomics for a 17 for me are better than a 19. But with that said, I'm not going to be carrying that 17 over the 19. So why wouldn't you just put a 19 frame with a 17 slide? To me, that would sell more. Now, I understand this was the tested pistol for the military testing and all that other stuff with some little changes here and there. But at the same time, for me, it makes no sense. And then as KS had said, the idea that the magazines don't even fit, you know, a Gen 5 mag doesn't fit in this gun, but yet it has Gen 5 internals. So is it a Gen 5? Is it a Gen 4? Is it a hybrid of both? Like, what is this gun? And no offense, a lanyard loop. I mean, really?
Yeah.
You know, if you want to make a good Glock, I would say take a Gen 4, put the internals of a Gen 5, and put some front serrations on it. And then you'd probably have people who'd go crazy on it. But again, there's already people there saying, I'm going to buy this as soon as it comes out. And this is what I've been waiting for 30 years. And no offense, I mean, it's just not going to do it, at least for me. But I don't know. You know, I don't market for Glock. And, you know, good. I hope they do well, period.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like we've said before, you know, there's a seat for every ass. So if someone wants it and they sell it, hey, by all means, grab it, you know, or if somebody's been thinking about, hey, this will be the best of both worlds and I don't have a Glock, maybe jump into it, you know, I mean, but I think, you know, like KS said and stuff with the, you know, change of the mag changes not, you know, working. And I just think that's a really dumb idea, you know, because a lot of people that have had Glocks probably, you know, have a lot of mags and a lot of, you know, other things that they could use or hope to use, and now they can't. So,
well, I mean, they can technically use the Gen 4, anyway, from Gen 1 to 4 mags. They just can't use Gen 5 mags. But if you just invested your money in a Gen 5 and you just ditched all your other stuff, which I don't know why you would, because the Gen 4 mags fit in them, and 1 and 2 and 3. But I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they just released it just to release something.
Yeah.
And
well, like I said, they had a bunch of parts. You know, my feeling is they had a bunch of parts they needed to move out, you know, and just throw some stuff together and get it out of the shop to make room for other stuff. You know, it is at the end of the year, so a lot of people have inventory, and if they don't dump it and make something, they have to pay taxes on it. You know, I mean, I'm in manufacturing too, and I mean, that's a big deal, and paying taxes on a lot of parts is not a fun thing.
Right. So and like, who are we? You know, Glock is going to be laughing all the way to the bank. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll sell them. People buy them.
They're going to sell them. People are already buying them. The problem is, I don't know if you guys are aware, man, but they're asking, I think, what did I tell you today, KS? Was it like $750 for this?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and see, that's like, it goes back, God, what did we talk about, like 2 or 3 chats ago, where I was telling y'all that people were taking Glock 17s, and remember they were shortening the slide, or shortening the grip, you know, to make it a 19 grip, you know, but with a 17 slide. I mean, that's that, you know, shit, people have been doing that for a while. So, but whatever, you know, like I said, it'll sell, people will buy it. So,
well, that's the thing. You know, Glock has a lot of devoted followers. I, to a degree, am one of them too. I mean, I'm actually admittedly kind of excited about the 34 Gen 5 with the MOS. I mean, that was a step in the right direction, because people have been kind of asking for that. But there are a lot of people that collect Glocks, and there are people that just, they buy them because it's a Glock, and I get that, and I can appreciate that. I mean, I've done my fair share of that as well. But at the end of the day, from a practicality standpoint, if you already have a Glock, it's not doing that your Glocks aren't doing. And if you want to carry it, I agree, it's going the opposite direction of the carry standard of trying to minimize the grip. And if you want making the slide a little bit longer, I was watching a video earlier today, and basically that's exactly what he was saying. He was saying, you want the shorter grip, and having a longer slide is just fine, because you increase that sight radius, and you increase a little bit of heft in the slide to reduce your muzzle flip and that sort of thing. And so it seems backwards from what the consumer, generally speaking, is wanting. But again, because it's got the different color and the more capacity, there are probably a lot of people that buy it.
Right. And then what's interesting too is somebody mentioned they like this gun better because it doesn't have the stupid cutout in the front of the grip like the 19 and 17 do. So that's why I'm saying, like, what, I don't get it. You know, everybody was like, and what even got me was the fact that when the Gen 5 came out, and, you know, I'm going to excuse our present guest KS, everybody's like, this is the best Glock ever, you know? And now all of a sudden this came out, and I swear to God, no joke, I'm not going to say who, but that review came out. This is the best Glock ever, guys. I've never shot a Glock so well. You just said that like 3 months ago for the Gen 5. So which one is the best? Gen 5, this one that's not a Gen 5, but not a Gen 4. I mean, after a while, it just gets old, man. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Glock. I've had 2 17s. I've had 4 19s, a 26. I like Glocks. I have no problem with them. But I mean, this is getting to be a little bit more ridiculous. And then everybody just fall in line saying, this is the best Glock ever. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we can just kind of leave it at that. We don't need to keep beating a dead horse, but
right.
Any of y'all excited about the release of the Bull Shadow?
No.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you.
Well, it's the first CZ true bull barrel. It's built on the 75L frame, so it's the long frame. I wish they would have done it on the Shadow 2 frame, personally. I think it's, really cool gun. Probably going to be really flat shooting. I've seen videos on it. And I've had a lot of people asking me, are you going to get the Bull Shadow? Are you going to get the Bull Shadow? Well, when it was shown like 2 years ago at SHOT Show, they were talking about a whole new design frame, going to be a one-off frame and all this other stuff for the Bull Shadow. And then they put it on the 75L, which 75L is a great pistol. But I just, since they released the Shadow 2, I'm not super, super stoked about it. Because for one, with the Tanfolio, I've got the cone bull barrel. So I kind of have that pistol, but just not a CZ version of it. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a great pistol. I think it'll sell very well. But, I really do like the Shadow 2 a lot. If I shot one, hell, I might really like it. I don't know. But
John had a response to you. He said, I'll believe it when I see it, Big J. They had them at SHOT Show last year.
Yeah. No, I know. They've been, they had a prototype like it was a year before last. And then Angus was showing it again, at CZ Customs again last year, showing it, oh, it's coming and coming. Well, hell, now they're just now talking about doing it. So I don't know. Or it's supposed to be available now, but, or this SHOT Show for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's definitely not anything I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep. Next. All right. Well, this will be the question of the night. And this is one that I've been asked. I know you two guys have been asked. And, we want to hear your opinions, but what is the best out of the box gun? Best gun straight out of the box.
Cass, do you want to go?
Well, sure. Yeah, we were talking about that off, not live before the channel, and I was posted that question. It was either yesterday or today, so that was kind of fresh on my mind a little bit. And it's an interesting question. Now, you guys know that I'm pretty middle of the road. I don't like the word best very much because I don't know how you can define that. But it was a really good question, and I started thinking of the guns that I've experienced. Let's say just over the last year, even channel, but even diving in before that, I kind of narrowed it down to a couple. And one of them is the P10C. It's not the best gun out of the box. Again, there's no such thing. However, it comes pretty close for me in my hands. I think it's got really good ergonomics. It's got a good build quality, I think. I mean, I haven't had any bad experiences with it. I was going to say something else about it. The trigger is fantastic, I think, on it. I mean, I think they got really close to building an all-around gun. However, the Steyr comes pretty close to mind a little bit. Again, I think that's a little bit more of an acquired taste because some people might not like it so much with the exaggerated grip angle and that sort of thing. Although I think we maintain that once you shoot it, you'll love it. But those come pretty close to mind for me.
Okay, and this was actually a question that was just asked, and we probably need to let's pick best carry gun of your opinion, best carry gun, or a competition gun, maybe two. Because
what are we answering? Which one are we answering still?
Best gun out of the box
or the first question? What's that?
Well, best gun out of the box, but we've had a couple people say, what's it going to be used for? So I guess if we can only pick one, that would be your one pick?
P10C probably.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep it simple. What about you, 17?
It's tough, man. You know, I think the best gun out of the box. Shit. I mean, the P10 is a great gun out of the box. Great trigger, great ergos, nice low slide. The Steyr is excellent. But one gun you cannot discount is the Walther PPQ. I still think that if I was going to look at all three of them, even though the Steyr got the gun of the year for me, but you know, again, it was a newer gun this year, I still think the PPQ has the advantage. It's got a longer track record than the P10. It's got, in my opinion, more reliability just because of the experience I had with the P10. So I would say the PPQ.
Okay.
Surprise.
There you go. Yeah, that is a surprise. I know people are probably gonna, you know, put it this way. I love the Shadow 2. I do. This one's gonna be kind of weird, but I would definitely probably go with the P09. You know, because it can just be used in so many different applications. Again, the Shadow 2 can too, but I would probably say the P09, and that could fall into P07 or P09. It's going to depend on hand size, what someone likes, but I would probably say P09.
That's a good choice.
So,
okay, what about carry gun?
Can you hear me still? Yeah. Okay. Good.
yeah, we can hear you. Are you talking about striker fire? Because I mean, I carry the P09 too.
Well, whatever. No, it doesn't. I don't care. Striker fire, hammer fire, nunchucks. I don't care what.
Okay. Let's just say, okay, because it would be the P07, P09, and those fall in the same kind of class. One's just bigger. Let's say the favorite striker fire gun. I would probably say right now VP9 for me, and I have the PPQ. It's just the, you know, I don't know. There's just something about the VP9 even over the PPQ, and I love both the triggers. But you know, I don't know, the VP9 just feels a little bit different in my hand, and I can bulk it up more. You know, I can put the large side straps and the large back straps on the VP9 where I can't on the PPQ.
Okay.
Best carry gun for me right now. Oh man, that's a tough question. It's going to be a tie, man. It's going to be a tie for me. The P10 I think is great. I carried a lot, but the Steyr M or L9. I couldn't pick between the two. I think right now I feel more confident, crazy enough, with the Steyr only because it hasn't had a single failure, you know. But and it's easy to carry. And I noticed that Young Guns brought up before, and I hate to change the topic really quick, but he had said if you can carry a Steyr M9 or an F&N 509, then you can definitely carry the 19X. Maybe he's right. It's just not going to be the most versatile carry. That's all. Yeah,
and I could see that. You know, we've got people saying the M&P 2.0 compact. We've got you know, the 43. We've got the Shield P01. You know,
speaking of that compact, I just got mine in today. Although it's going to take me, you know, a generation of people to get it. And let me tell you something, guys. Wow, that's all I can say. The trigger absolutely sucks. Not going to lie. I wasn't impressed. I actually think the trigger on my full size is better out of the box than this compact was. It's got a lot of travel, a lot of take up on that trigger. But you know what? I hate to say this. It absolutely, in my opinion right now, outshines the Glock 19.
Yeah.
It's more ergonomic. It's got a longer slide and barrel. And the grip is like the perfect length. It's not, there's not even a hair of an inch over my pinky. It's like the perfect fit. I was very impressed with that gun. Very impressed. Well, now I got to shoot it, of course.
You know, Nolan did his review, and hell, I was really surprised. I mean, you know, Glock hasn't really brought anything to the table, but you know, I noticed that he picked the G9, or excuse me, the M&P 2.0 also.
Right.
You know, and I think it's just really done a great job. And you know, it's crazy because if you really think about it, it's like the 2.0, you know, your full size version, 17, you know, I mean, it's a great gun, and I've put my hands on it, and it feels better to me just because of my hands.
Right.
You know, the compact, you know, it's a little low. You know, I'm way down there on the bottom, kind of hanging off just a tad.
Right.
But you know, I mean, I was real surprised that people didn't just fall in love with the full size, but it could be because of their hand sizes. And now the compact is just, you know, fits their hand a lot better. And it's got the short, you know, a little bit shorter slide.
Right.
So I think that's a gun that
I mean, they did a great job.
a long time.
It seems to be in all aspects a fantastic gun. Again, I haven't shot it, but just the feel of it, and they did a great job. They did a really good job on that handgun. Very good job.
I'm going to go a different direction, and I'm actually going to say the Shield, whether it be the 1.0 or 2.0. And the reason I feel like that is because depending on where you live, depending on the type of clothes you wear, or whatever, it's a little bit smaller gun, a little bit more concealable, in my opinion, or at least for me, it is. It's just, to me, it's the kind of gun that you can kind of almost throw in a pocket, depending on the pants.
Yeah.
And certainly inside the waistband, it totally disappears, very comfortable. It doesn't have the capacity as some of the bigger guns. I get carry a couple of extra magazines if that's a concern for you. But I think that's a really good do-all gun because it's still very shootable. It's still ergonomic. It's still accurate. It still has a lot of those same qualities, not all of them, but a lot of them. And to me, it strikes a really good balance between shootability and comfort and concealability.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I mean, it is. We do have a question. Logan is asking, what are our opinions on Iraqi veteran 8888, you know, gun gripe videos?
Who?
Iraqi veteran gun gripe videos. Do y'all have any comment on them?
Nope. I don't watch his channel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on them. I mean, you know, everybody, there's a lot of channels that do gun gripes, but I don't have an opinion on it, honestly.
I'll occasionally turn on things like that, and that's the sort of thing that I turn on and I'm doing other things in the background. So I might have that on and playing, and occasionally they're entertaining. Occasionally they make good points. I don't mind those guys. They don't bother me. And I've been watching them off and on for years. So I don't pay explicit attention to them, and I kind of have a filter on a little bit, but that's the same with almost any channel that I watch. I have a little bit of a filter to see what I want to glean from an information standpoint. And then when the opinions roll in, some I agree with, some I don't. And I'm sure it's the same way with anybody watching my stuff, but you know, they're fine. They don't bother me one way or the other.
Yeah. And, you know, that was a question that I've been asked, and I'll go ahead and ask you guys. And I know 17 in the past probably didn't, but do you guys carry a pocket knife? And it doesn't have to be a big one, but do you guys carry a pocket knife like every day or in your bag, or do you have a pocket knife on you? And either in a bag or in your pocket? Like every day?
I don't care. I don't carry that. Nope.
I can't.
Okay.
Work.
Okay. I didn't know if you had one in your bag or you were allowed to. And I mean that, you know, just because I've been asked that question, and yes, I do carry a pocket knife every day, and I just vary them. They're not super high dollar ones or anything crazy. You know, I got like $100 Benchmade, $110 Benchmade, but I rotate them through. So got $30 ones too I carry, and I like them.
So
go ahead.
You mind if I bring something up?
No, go ahead.
So a couple of things. What's that?
Go ahead.
It was
okay.
You.
Thank you. Shut up. So thing number one was, so I've been getting a lot of emails from, I don't know if he's a subscriber, so I apologize if he is, but he had just bought a Steyr, and he bought the L9, and he was saying that he went and he shot it, and I think he put a couple hundred rounds through it, but he had a lot of some misfeeds, a couple of failure to ejects, and he asked me, you know, what are my thoughts on that? And so I asked him, what are you shooting? So he said he was shooting 115 grain. I think he shot Winchester white box, and then he shot like a 54 grain ammo. the 54 grain to me is
super light.
It's just too light. I mean, you know what? Why? I know that some people want to test the gun to see that it can shoot everything, but are you carrying 54 grain? Anybody?
No.
So I would definitely rule that one out. I'd also even maybe attempt to rule out the Winchester white box. I mean, I think we can all agree that ammo is kind of crappy to begin with. Now, it doesn't excuse the fact that he's having some failures with the Steyr. So he went ahead and he contacted Steyr, and Steyr's response to him was kind of interesting. He actually emailed me the response, and Steyr basically said that because the tolerances on the Steyr are so tight, you'd have to shoot about 500 rounds of, obviously heavier or hotter ammo. So like plus P, 124 grain. And then after 500 rounds, it should break in and be fine. So, he didn't like that response. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really buy that response either. I explained to him that for whatever reason, I can't explain it. Every Steyr I've owned has been absolutely 100%. The S9 was 100%. The M9's been 1,000%. The L9's been 100%, and it's got 400 rounds through it. I have not shot any real hot ammo, a couple of plus Ps, but I'm not wasting my plus P when I'm at the target range or at the range. I'm not doing that. So most of the time what I've been shooting is 115 grain. The cheapest crap I can find at Walmart, which is the Federal and the red box, it's $18 for 100 rounds. And I have had no issues with it. So, my response to him was sort of, contact them, but don't email them, call somebody and get somebody on the phone, because I'm noticing that a lot of times when you email a manufacturer, they don't even waste their time really giving you a forethought. They kind of blow you off, and then they basically say, oh, it's not an issue. You just need to do this, this, and that. I think the best thing you can do is really just call them up, speak to somebody live on the phone, and then go from there. But I don't know what's going on. There are some people who have Steyrs that have no problems, and then there are other people who do. And I'd love to know what you guys think it is that's causing that. Do you think it's that Steyrs using old parts for newer guns, or that some of those guns they did that to are still in circulation that are now starting to come out of circulation? I would love to hear what everybody has to say about that.
And I'm just kind of bringing this up. You remember when I bought the VP9 and I was shooting the 115 and having very weird ejection? I mean, it was just barely coming out, and it was something I wasn't used to. And I did find out later that my 9mm was shipped with the 40 round or the 40 caliber spring. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, since Steyr makes 40 caliber, could he have gotten maybe a 40 caliber spring in that Steyr? Possibly.
Possibility.
I mean, I don't know, but that would be something that, like if there's a paint marking, because on the VP9 they had the paint marking on it, red and black. That's the way it showed the two different springs. But maybe he got a 40 caliber spring in a 9mm. Maybe.
It's a possibility.
I mean, if he's watching that, maybe he could. That's something he could check on. Mm-hmm. But who knows?
Who knows?
Now, I do know that when, I took mine to the farm and, Yankee and everybody shot it, I didn't have any ejection problems. I mean, not one. And even when we shot it with the suppressor on it, with I think we shot 147 through it and 115, I didn't have any ejection problem, even suppressed. So no brass to the face, no weird stuff going on. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's weak ammo. Maybe it's the spring has too much tension. I don't know.
Hey, can I change the subject?
Yes.
No.
Perfect. So LZ USA asked talk to Hudson on the phone. So I was gonna talk to you guys about that for just a moment or two, give you an update. So you guys all know that that video dropped on Saturday afternoon, and it caught a little bit more attention than I was actually expecting.
Yeah.
And both good and some rather interesting negative comments as well. But in the course of monitoring the comments, and this was right before Nolan's chat, Lock and Load Lifestyle. Nolan, I apologize. I was not very into the chat on Saturday. Got my hands a little bit full. But Hudson reached out in the comments of the YouTube video, but they also reached out on my Facebook page and my Instagram. They started trying to get a hold of me, and then Cy Hudson contacted me through my Facebook page. So all of this was happening kind of all at once, right about the beginning of Nolan's chat. And so I started emailing Cy Hudson, and he ended up calling me. I gave him my phone number, and he called me, and we had about a 20-25 minute conversation, whatever it was. Guys, I got to tell you, he was a very, very nice guy. He was very, he was really about the experience that I had, and frustrated with it. I think he was probably frustrated at the video a little bit, which I completely understand, although I hope it wasn't too negative. But anyway. But he was very nice. So we basically left it. And at the time on Saturday, the gun was still in Kansas City, Kansas at Frontier Justice. It actually left today to go to Hudson. I just talked to Cy through email earlier today. So they're going to keep me posted on it. I'm really trying to get some sort of test and evaluation gun out of them, even if it's not to keep. It doesn't have to be to keep. I don't care. But I'd like an opportunity to retest the gun and hopefully tell the second half of the story, because although I feel like it really was a little bit of a customer service drop in early December, I think that they have tried very hard to make it right very quickly. In fact, he told me that he lit up his entire staff on Saturday night. This was Saturday night before New Year's. So I feel bad that I caused that kind of commotion. That was not the intent, but it was obvious that he had a lot of interest in trying to make this right and that sort of thing. And I don't know what's going to happen, if anything, but Bald, yes, I should have given him your number too. No, your gun is working, you bastard. And disclaimer, I wanted my gun to work too, because I'm telling you guys, when that thing was shooting, it was freaking sweet. It was an incredible shooter. But anyway, so I will keep you guys posted if anything transpires on it, which I hope it does. I hope there's an opportunity to close the circles, so to speak, and put the final chapter together on this, and hopefully allow me to tell the second half of the story and the customer service experience I experienced on the second half, because I think it's much better. And perhaps some of the people that were saying in the comments that they've decided not to buy a gun, which hopefully not based on my words, but hopefully it will give them maybe a second opportunity to rethink it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's very fair, especially, and that's the thing, they're a brand new, gun manufacturer. I mean, everybody has some growing pains. It could have been a burr, like you said. I mean, it could have been anything.
Right.
And we see some guns running great. You've reported on some others that weren't. And who knows? I mean, but yeah, I mean, I wish them luck. I mean, like I said, I would never want to burn anyone at all. That's not what it's about.
Oh, 17, you're off, buddy. You're off. No sound. It's all right. We'll come back to you. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And hopefully, he told me that customer service is his #1 priority, and it should be above and beyond. And I think that I think that really is their mantra. And this was a misstep. A lot of people were saying in the comments, well, it was the holiday season, you should have given them more time. Part of me understands and agrees with that a little bit, except it really, the whole holiday season thing, you could say that's the beginning of November. And for a startup company, you got to be on the ball even right up till the end of the year, regardless. I mean, that's how business works. Even small companies, big companies, whatever it happens to be. So I feel like when they reached out to me on the 11th, but didn't close the circle right then when they had the opportunity, that's the part that really got to me. And that's the part that I think they missed. That's why I was so upset. And there was a lot of money riding on it. I mean, that's $1,150 gun, and I will tell you I paid more than that after tax walking out. So that was an expensive gun. 17, are you on? Hello? Are you frozen?
No, he's moving his head around.
Well, he's moving his head around.
He's playing with his computer.
Yeah.
Well, like Lumberjack saying, don't apologize. It was a great, honest review. And, all of our reviews are from our standpoint. Like Bald's having great luck with his, you had poor luck. It's an opinion thing. So I don't think, anybody's trying to beat him up. I think you were very fair, very honest. And, in my opinion, and with my, if I would have dropped the ball on someone like that in my work, they could have ripped me too. I mean, you got to stay on top of it. And I think they really dropped the ball. And that's probably why they had a come Jesus meeting, and Cy started calling everyone. I mean, you got to take care of your people, take care of your customers. So,
yeah. 17, you back on? Hello. there, buddy?
He said he lost all audio. That's what he just said. Oh, he's muted. He's muted. So he's playing around with it. We'll you know, hopefully he can pop back in here in just a second. Yeah, and that, you know, Razor's got a good point. Hudson staff is probably a handful. They're small, you know, for right now. So, you know, and I know there's a big demand for that pistol. There has been for quite a while. So, you know, yeah, and you know, Chris brings up a valid point. It's a testament to the power of the YouTube community. You know, you threw that out there, and I mean, it blew up, and it did what it needed to do to get some stuff rolling for you. So that's a great thing.
Well, and again, the intention was to tell the story, my experience, because I put out a pretty positive review a few weeks before. And anytime, I think a lot of us on YouTube feel this way. If we put our name on something a little bit, I think we have a responsibility to share if we have other experiences that we've not advertised before, because you know, I want to be honest with you guys. I think, you know, Big Johnson 17, I think both of you do too. So a little bit of an obligation to myself and to other people to say, hey, this is the experience that I'm having right now. This is what's happened.
Yeah. And I mean, I know you're aware of it, but I received a product, and honestly, I think it's a piece of shit. I'm giving the people the opportunity. You know, I've sent them all the information, pictures, the whole works. I'm giving the opportunity to let me know what they want to do. To try to make this right, but if I don't hear back from them, you all will be knowing about it. So that's just kind of how it is. I'm not trying to hide anything from anyone, but you know, this is a very reputable company, and I want them to, you know, it could have been a mistake, but I want to find out from them how they're going to take care of it.
Hey, will you call 17, please?
I just did.
So you did. Okay, cool. Chris, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I hope it was diplomatic. I was trying to be diplomatic. I was not trying to tell people, you know, don't do this or don't do that, because at the end of the day, it's one guy's opinion, and it's a sample set of one. So it can't be the end all be all. I mean, I think they've put out somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000. So one gun cannot tell the entire story. The only thing that kind of blew me away was other guns in the city, and there aren't many. Other guns had similar problems from what we hear. So, you know, hopefully there are just some kinks that they need to work out, because the design is really a great idea. 17, you're on mute right now. I don't know if you know that. Okay, all right, just making sure, buddy.
Yeah, he's probably adjusting some stuff.
Jesus, what fucking pain in the ass is living up here. Jesus Christ. You think I'm living out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
Look, New York, for God's sakes. What the hell happened to this state? Thank you, Bro. God almighty. You cannot even get internet service that works in this place. God damn it.
They got to feed more squirrels.
No, you know, what I need to do is collect welfare, and then I'll get free internet.
There you go.
Ah.
Let's see here. Yeah, everybody's telling you not to beat yourself up, KS. You did a great job, and I agree. So, let's see here.
You were going to add something to that, right?
Sorry?
17 was going to add something to that, I thought.
Who the hell knows? I'm ready to throw this goddamn computer out the window.
After the chat.
Okay. All right. Deep breath. And you have an opinion about the Hudson.
I'd have zero opinion about the Hudson. It's a gun that I could care less about. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, look here. The Uncharted Trucker said the Strike B has been pushed back to spring release.
Yeah, that's nothing new. I've known that.
Okay. All right, because I was going to say, I didn't know if it was more crap.
No, it's spring, because they had to supposedly remachine all the slides and change the name and all this other crap. So
yeah, well, I thought they were going to try to roll through that and get it going.
They couldn't, because of trademarking issues, apparently. So,
yeah.
Hey, Wicked, thanks, buddy.
But hey, you know, we talked about that, you know, and of course, you know, I do copyright. I deal with some of that stuff too, and patents. And you know, you have to apply for that, and then it's approved. You know, it's a big whole long deal. So they were already approved for that.
Right.
It really kind of can't be taken away once it's been approved. That's why I think, you know, with this Strike B and all this other stuff, I think Strike said, bye. You know, I mean, that part of it. And I think they were like, oh crap, now we need to jump onto something else. So that's my person. I don't know if they pulled funds from it or what, but they could have just very well walked away from that part of it and then said, hey, y'all deal with it and find something else. And, you know, patents, it's not a quick thing.
I'm a little bummed out about it because I was really looking forward to getting it. But, you know, after reading more into it, you know, this guy, Dimitri, and, you know, they make great miniature guns, but, you know, apparently they cannot get this gun out on time because of, you know, trademarking issues. But whatever, you know what? That's over with. I'm not going to pick up that gun. They proved that they don't have the customer service ability to handle any problem with the gun. And there are some people out there who are still going to get it. Good. I hope it works out. I hope it's a fantastic firearm. But yeah, I have no interest in that gun. At least
well,
right now.
I don't know if you saw the comment because I know you were dealing with the nightmare on your computer stuff. But Mateo said he is selling his L9 in order to get a Phantom.
Yeah, he told me that a while ago, or actually, I think it was the last chat he had mentioned that. And listen, I don't blame him. I mean, the Phantom is awesome. It's an awesome gun, really is. Awesome gun. Don't know if I'd sell my L9, but he's got an L40, so I don't blame him. So there's one other thing I wanted to bring up really quick. Hopefully my microphone doesn't go dead and my internet signal doesn't get lost. But you know, I want to bring up YouTube for a moment. And not to, you know, start with this whole demonetization thing, but I just wanted to call them out on their hypocrisy. So Mike's channel is about, oh, sorry. It's one of those days, fellas. So Big Johnson's probably going to get a strike against the channel for me saying this. So I'm just going to say it on his chat tonight, not on mine. But one of the things that I just find to be so hypocritical of YouTube was, I don't know if you guys saw Parasitic Generations. He had the new, what is it, the Security 9, right? It was a good video. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, there was nothing at all that I would even consider remotely rude or offensive. It was a good, solid video, you know? He was excited. I was excited for him because it was like he was like one of the first guys to review that gun. And you could see how excited he was about it, man. And I like the dude. I like his channel, you know? And the next day he came out saying his channel got a strike against it and they removed his video saying that it was against their policies. So when that happened, the best part was a couple of days ago, and I don't know who this dude is, but he's apparently a ginormous loser and a tool bag. But there's that dude, Logan Paul. Have you guys seen this retard? So anyway, you gotta check this idiot out. So his name is Logan Paul. And I guess his whole thing on YouTube is to go out there and make himself out to look like a total moron, which he does a great job at it. And, you know, so apparently he was out in this forest in Japan. It's like that suicide forest. I forget what it's called. Right. And he went out there. And the reason why it's considered a suicide forest is because it has the most suicides anywhere in Japan or whatever. I guess people just go out there and off themselves. So as he was filming his little vlog, he stumbled upon a dead body. Somebody hanged themselves in the forest. So he's actually showing it on his channel and he's laughing about it. He's making it a big joke. And at no time did this guy get removed, get a strike or anything. As a matter of fact, the video was on trending. And if you know anything about trending on YouTube, they actually pick it up or actually they hand pick them and they put them on there. And at no time was it removed or anything. And then I guess it was finally, or he removed it. And then he made an apology video and he's like crying on the video going, oh, I'm so sorry, because he's now worried he's going to lose money and lose everything that he's, you know, apparently all these people that watch him it's unbelievable. But I just said to myself on that day, how hypocritical is it of YouTube to put a strike against a guy like Parasitic Generation who doesn't hurt anybody, who doesn't do anything, in my opinion, that is remotely offensive in any way, shape, or form. But then you got this guy, Logan Paul, who comes out and puts some dead body on his video and makes fun of a suicide victim. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable the kind of crap that is going on. You know, and then you go onto their trending, and if you ever see their trendings, the ones they pick are trash. You know, they had one from Netflix the other day where there's a new movie coming out on Netflix, and it's like these two teenagers, and one of them is trying to figure out how he wants to kill this girl. And like, I'm saying to myself, like, how the hell do they justify showing that on their trending, not removing those videos? But then a guy like Parasitic Generation, who, I mean, let's be honest, guys, he doesn't do anything wrong. Oh, maybe every once in a while he'll shoot a pig carcass. Oh no, that's so offensive to the pigs in the world. But at the same time, I mean, at what point does it become so glaringly obvious that and if it hasn't already, I'm sure it is. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the hypocrisy behind it. And I just wanted to say that because I wanted to make sure that he got some props, because it's not right that they did that to his
well, and you know, I don't know if y'all have noticed, I mean, I've noticed it, but you know, when you go through and look at all the videos, like, you know, Coda Boy did a video and all this other stuff. Well, at the top of my feed, there's this picture of this blonde girl with makeup on, and then right beside it, it's a guy. She used to be a guy. And it's like, hey, come and watch this, you know, and I'm like, okay. You know, I mean, why the hell is that popping up? You know,
watched it anyway. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's no, I don't like that. But I mean, you know, it's crazy. Like, you know, I set this chat up, and before we even went live, YouTube demonetized it. Before we even went live, they don't even know what the hell we were going to say.
Right.
You know, so I don't really give a shit. I mean, I'm to the point where I don't care. You know, half of mine get demonetized all the time, so I don't really care.
Well,
but
all right. So here's one thing we can do. I mean, obviously we have very little voice in this whole YouTube thing. I mean, whatever, and we just have to deal with what we have to deal with. A couple of things, guys, and we say this on pretty much every chat. This is a great opportunity first to check out all the other people on the chat and see who's got channels and subscribe to their channels, but also go subscribe to Parasitic Generation. He really is a cool dude. He's got a lot of videos, a lot of shooting out there. He's got a lot of budget-minded guns, which a lot of people are really into. I definitely am. So be sure to check him out as well. Give him some support. Let's try and give back what YouTube took away from him, because they stripped that video out, and his Security 9 video was one of, if not the first one. I mean, it really, he was. Anytime any of us can be on the forefront of a gun release and get a video out there, we reap the benefits. I will tell you, I have a couple of times too. And so they took that away from a really cool dude. Right. Go support his channel and everybody else is on here.
And, you know, that's what I think made me so angry about it, because, you know, I think a lot of people, when they don't make videos, they don't really realize the excitement you get when you are maybe one of the first people to have something. You know, for me, it never happens because I got to wait 3 years to get something. But when you see it and it's authentic, man, I totally love that. Like, when I saw his video, you could see he was pumped about it. He was excited about it, and good for him. He should be. But they totally screwed him over. And honestly, if you saw the video, there was, I mean, nothing in there that could, in my opinion, remotely be considered offensive in any way. You know, why that happened, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, and they're going to pick and choose what they want to do. I mean, you know, they can. I mean, they own it, but it's sad. I mean, you know, we've all dealt with this mess. So since we're now into, because we only have, you know, a little bit left, but 15 minutes. But since we're, you know, into 2018, and we've talked about this before, you know, upcoming guns. Is there anything you're really, really excited about grabbing? And this is for the, you know, the chat also, for the subs out there. Anything that is you got to get it.
For me, 1000%, Walther PPQ subcompact.
Now, do you know, I saw the picture, but it's all blurred out. Do we know for sure that's what it is?
I'm about, I don't want to say 100% sure. I'm about 90% sure.
Okay.
Only because, you know, one of the people that works for Walther, who will remain anonymous, you know, this was the guy who helped me out when my frame cracked. When they announced it, I got the email, and I right away emailed him, and I said, I knew it. It's a subcompact. And he just put in his email message back to me, haha, I really don't know anything. And then I know he's full of crap. So it's going to be hopefully a subcompact that's going to fall in between the PPQ and the PPS or CCP. So it's going to be somewhere in between that. And if they do it right, this could be an awesome, fantastic firearm. I still think the CCP should have been the PPQ subcompact, because the gun is great. I mean, it fits great in the hand and everything. I just hate that gas blowback. I think it's such a waste.
Yeah.
So for me, a couple, I'm interested in the Walther as well. I heard something just a little while ago that it really truly is a cut down PPQ. I don't know if that's hearsay or not. If it's just a cut down PPQ, kind of like the Q4, but even smaller, I don't know that I'm on board with that. I'd have to see it in person. I mean, perhaps it'll be cool. I like the VP9SK, so who knows? And that's going to be very similar. The Security 9, in fact, I'm picking mine up hopefully tomorrow. I'm really excited to get my hands on that. It's actually the first Ruger that I hopefully will feature on the channel, so I'm excited. But they also have a PC Carbine that they're bringing out. Carbine, there we go. So I'm gonna put those out. I thought that'd be kind of cool, and it's also extremely economical. I mean, we're talking street price of around $500 for that. And it's a 9mm carbine or carbine that you can take apart. So that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Beyond that, I don't know. I mean, I was talking with a couple of the guys a little bit earlier about a Springfield Armory, a little 380 1911-esque sort of thing. That doesn't really light my fire. I think it was Gerald when I was talking to. I'm not real big into Springfield Armory anymore, but that doesn't really inspire me.
Yeah. What about the the APX with the
the
MOS setup on it? The FDE APX.
It's funny that you brought that up because everybody's hyping up this 19X. But I'll be honest with you, the APX, they're coming out with one in all FDE, the slide and the frame, obviously. But then they're also coming out, like what you said, with the RMRs. Honestly, that would be a gun that I would absolutely pick up.
Yeah. I think that'd be pretty cool. I haven't seen a picture of one. I don't know if y'all have. I just kind of heard that it was coming. But I think that might be something to look at, because the PPQ, we were talking about that a while back. The PPQ with the MOS and all the other stuff. I'm just like, right. Because you kind of get
like to see that APX come out in a sub or in a compact size, shorter grip, even maybe the same length of the slide, or maybe a little bit shorter. But that would be intriguing. That would be something that I would definitely be hungry for.
Yeah.
The 19X, it's just, man, I don't know. I'm not going to say no, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and I've heard from one of the guys at FN that they've got something coming out, and I'm hoping it's probably going to be like the 509 MOS or something to that effect. But I don't know for sure what it's going to be yet. But they were saying they had something coming too. So
we'll see. I'm looking. I really am kind of excited to see that Caracol if it ever comes out. I really am interested in that gun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
what about the Masada?
It's kind of had its chance. I mean, I know that it's been out before, and back and forth. I don't know, man.
What about the IWI, the Masada?
It doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I think it. Hell, it might be a great gun. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd rather pick up another P10. Oh wait, I did.
Right.
One thing that I've been trying to work on, and I mean, I guess this is kind of selfish of me to do this, but I've been trying to find, which is crazy, it's never going to happen, but I've been trying to find someone who will actually volunteer their time and effort to customizing either the P10 or the Steyr L9. I have yet to get somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Well, some of those guys,
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, they're busy with their customer pay stuff, so
Yeah, I know. So I may have to ghetto Steyr or ghetto stipple my Steyr again. I've been watching a lot of videos on how to do it, so I'm going to maybe try to do it a little bit better this time.
Yeah. I'm also in a purge mode. I'm purging a lot of stuff. I've got 5 guns for sale right now, and I'm just trying to kind of clean things out and starting fresh with 2018, and probably thinking a little bit differently about how I'm going to do the channel and the guns that I feature and that sort of thing. I mean, I can't match what I did last year. I mean, I don't think that's possible. So trying to kind of retool things just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually, once I put my hands on that M&P compact, man. Whew, I think the full size is going to be going, so I may be putting that up for sale with the Apex trigger, which I really don't want to, but.
Oh no! Don't sell the Apex trigger.
What am I going to do with it? I'm not going to have 2 M&Ps.
Well, put it in your 2.0 compact.
I don't need to. Looky.
Oh. Wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like Channel Cat's bringing up the 509. You know, and of course I have the FNS still and really love that pistol. You know, Apex is releasing the FN triggers too for the 509 and the FNS. So, I mean, that could make, you know, and I've said this before, man, you can pull apart an FNS or a 509 and it has, I mean, it's so far past Glock. You know, I know we've talked about this before, but with everything it comes with, I mean, it blows it out of the water, but the trigger's just not as great. But with this Apex setup, that could really be a fantastic pistol with a great trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. What was I going to say? Oh, and you know, the HB Industries, the trigger, the guys who made the trigger for the P10s, they're doing also the fully flat-faced one. So I was speaking to Phil, of all people, at HB Industries, and he was telling me that if I wanted to, I could actually bring that up because they were kind of hush-hush about it.
Right.
But now they're going full on board with the completely flat and the one with the little lip at the bottom. You know, my preference was the lip at the bottom, but the flat one works just as well. You know, I shot 200 rounds out of it, no issues. Didn't sting my finger at all, so it worked really well.
Yeah, I can't decide which one I like better. One day I like the flat trigger better, and one day I like the one with the little lip at the bottom. I literally can't decide.
You know, the lip, just I like it because it's got that landmark. So you know, as soon as I touch the trigger, I know exactly where my pad needs to be, and I don't have any issues. So I like that one a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what I'm running right now in the FDE. But I like that flat one too. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Now there's a question, and I haven't seen one. Has anyone in here shot the CZ P10C and 40 yet, or have you seen one?
There isn't one yet. It's not out.
So I haven't seen one anywhere. So
it's not out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think the P10 is a great pistol, and you know, I think as they keep going, you know, with their evolution of the Gen 2, or as they get more into it, they're going to work everything out. I mean, I think it's going to be, and I know you haven't had any problems with yours. 17 had a little bit, you know, right at the first, but you know, I think it's going to be a fantastic pistol, and I think it's going to keep on going for them.
The P10, right?
Yes. And
yeah,
it could,
I mean,
you know, it could go into the subcompact, the full size. I mean, they could really make a big splash with this thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great gun. I really, except for that one little issue with it, it's come back running perfectly, no issues at all. So I think it's a great gun.
Here, though, they've talked about this this long version of it, or a full frame version and a subcompact, and the diagram shows it in the manual. But from what I understand, it is not coming out this year. Neither one of them. They're just doing the suppressor height with the threaded barrel, and then they're doing the kind of an alternate color slide version that's going to come out, which is already in their whatever program or whatever flyer that they released. But that's it.
Now Harry is bringing up the idea of the mag release thing. I think that's obviously, I think a lot of people know that the mag, it's very difficult to eject when there's a full mag in this gun. The only relief I have found was when I dismantled the mag release and pulled the spring out and all that other crap. What I wound up doing was I actually cut one of the links off the spring, or one of the coils off the springs. So it made the spring a little bit smaller, and I've had a lot more success with it that way. So I don't know if the spring is just wound up too tight, but that seems to have fixed it quite a bit. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's getting about that time. You guys want to close it out? Anything you got coming up, or anything you want to say?
I have a rail that I installed on my SKS. It's a Matador Arms, and great rail. It's awesome. It went on really nicely. Problem is that the bolt cover, or the spring cover, whatever you want to call it, the dust cover on the back of the SKS, it's not a stock one, so I had to actually go out and buy a used one. I'm waiting for that to come in, but once it comes in, man, that friggin' rail is absolute. If you have an SKS and you're looking for a good solid rail, absolutely this one is perfect. It attaches to the rear sight, and also attaches to the whatever it is, the back of the dust cover. So it's very tight, and it's going to hold zero, hopefully. I also have a gun box coming in, which is I'm pretty excited about. You know, it should be coming in hopefully this week, and I'm pretty excited to review it because it looks like it's something that's going to be very useful. So I'll get into that when it comes in. You know, I'm still waiting for my P01 Omega. It's now been 3 weeks, and I still have yet to get my little magic coupon. Awesome, thanks New York. I got the M&P 2.0 compact and another one of these, the P10. Only it came from CZ Customs, and it came with night sights and has an orange ring around the front, which is actually kind of cool. So who knows? I might be ditching this one, but I think I'm going to keep both because I really like the gun a lot. I really do. So that's about it.
What about you, KS?
Well, I've got a CZ Shadow 2 video coming out, and you guys will kind of find out more about the background of that and who it came from and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm excited about that. The PO1 Omega in the Urban Gray is coming out as well. And then after that, I'm done with CZs for a while. I need to get off the CZ train and do some other things. So the Ruger Security 9 will be coming out, and a couple of other things. And then after that, I'm sort of I'm going to be wandering around for a while. Hunts for Food, $4.99, a good price for a CZ P10C. That's the going rate. Is it the best price? Probably not, but it is the going rate. And if it's an FDE, it's a steal at $4.99 because I'm from that. So I would go ahead and jump on it now. But anyways, that's kind of what's coming up on the channel. And then after that, who knows?
Cool.
And Scotsman, they will not be under 10 minutes, please. How long? Come on now. Who are you talking to? They're not going to be under 10 minutes.
It'd be like you get under 15.
Yeah, they won't be under 15 either. They just won't happen.
Yeah. I've got some shotgun stuff coming up. So checked one out and pretty excited about it. And had my good old buddy Sandpaper Pistols send me some goodies. So actually a bunch of them. So we're going to be doing some of that. Still going to get my trigger put in my AR at that. And got some pistols that I will be reviewing with some tricked out items on them. And pretty excited about that. But that's what I have coming up. So, and I didn't put out a lot of videos over the holidays because family stuff and everything else, y'all all know how it goes. So I'll be jumping back into that pretty hard.
And just one quick shout out, man. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been, meeting a lot of different people through YouTube and everything. And, when you start to meet a lot of these people, you start to realize that they're not what you would actually thought they would be. And what I mean by that is, they're not just faceless names, but they're actually people. And I just want to, say, thanks to everybody who's been reaching out and talking to me. And, I really appreciate it, man. There's a lot of good people in this. It's not just about the shillery of YouTube where you sell your soul. It's about just making contacts with people, man. And there's a lot of people out there that are, in my opinion, much greater than I am. And I appreciate them reaching out and talking to me, man. So just thank you.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all so much. And, this is a great chat to kick off 2018. We were excited to do it, and appreciate all y'all being on. Again, if you haven't subbed to the people on here, please do so. And also check out Bald and Curious's giveaway, for the pistols and everything for C-Max, help him out. We've all done it. We appreciate everyone being on the chat tonight. So thanks a lot, guys, for being on. You two Yahoos. And thanks for all the subs for being out there for us. We appreciate y'all. And everyone have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Pistol Pete, no more angry, buddy. Sorry.